Am I the a-hole for breaking up with my girlfriend on Halloween because she dressed slutty and kissed someone else? I, 22M, have been dating my girlfriend, Emily, 21F, for about a year now. We've had our ups and downs like any relationship, but overall, things have been good, until this past Halloween. I'm still trying to process everything, and I'm feeling a mix of anger, regret, and sadness, so I'm turning to Reddit to ask, am I the a-hole? Emily and I had been planning to go to a Halloween party at a frat house near campus. We talked about our costumes a little, but I didn't know exactly what she was going to wear until that night. When I picked her up, she came out dressed as a sexy cat, tight black bodysuit, fishnet stockings, and the kind of heels that made her legs look endless. Don't get me wrong, she looked amazing, but I couldn't help feeling uncomfortable with how revealing it was. I know that Halloween is a time for people to wear whatever they want, and I'm not usually the jealous type, but I felt off about it. She's always been confident, which I love about her, but that night, something just rubbed me the wrong way. When we got to the party, I could feel other guys staring at her, checking her out, and she seemed to be loving the attention. She was flirting with everyone, laughing, dancing. It felt like I didn't even exist. I tried to play it cool at first. I grabbed a beer, talked to a few friends, but I couldn't shake the feeling that she was going out of her way to be noticed by other guys. Then, things took a turn. I went to grab another drink from the kitchen, and when I came back, I saw her in the corner of the room, talking to this guy from the frat. They were standing really close, and then I saw it. She kissed him. It wasn't a full-on makeout, but it was enough to break me. I froze for a second, not sure what to do. Part of me thought I was overreacting, but the other part of me felt like my heart had just been ripped out of my chest. I walked over to her and pulled her aside, asking her what the hell that was about. She acted like it was nothing, saying, "It was just a stupid kiss. It didn't mean anything." But to me, it did mean something. It felt like she didn't respect me, didn't care about how I would feel. In that moment, I told her we were done. I couldn't be with someone who dressed provocatively to get attention and then kissed random guys at parties. She looked shocked, like she didn't expect me to react that way. She started crying, saying she didn't want to break up and that I was overreacting. But I was so angry, I didn't care. I walked out of the party and left her there. That night, I thought I made the right choice. I was hurt and pissed off, and I didn't want to deal with the drama. But now, a few days later, I'm starting to feel different. I've been hearing from mutual friends that she's been taking it really hard, and I can't stop thinking about what I did. She hasn't reached out, and I haven't either, but part of me is wondering if I was too harsh. Here's the worst part. Yesterday, I found out from one of her close friends that after the party, she was a mess. She ended up drinking too much, wandering around the streets alone after the party ended. No one stayed with her, and apparently she had been crying for hours. The next morning, she texted her friend saying she didn't feel like herself anymore. She hasn't been seen or heard from since. She's been missing for 2 days now, and her parents are getting involved. I feel sick. I don't know if this is my fault, or if there's something bigger going on, but I can't help thinking that maybe if I hadn't broken up with her like that, maybe if I had stayed with her or made sure she got home safely, this wouldn't be happening. I keep thinking about how alone she must have felt that night. Now I'm sitting here, wondering if I'm the asshole for the way I handled everything. Was I too controlling? Was I too harsh for breaking up with her over a kiss? I don't even know anymore. All I know is that I just want her to be okay, and I can't stop thinking that I pushed her away when she needed me the most. So, Reddit, am I the asshole? The Halloween I lost my love. Halloween is usually a night filled with costumes, parties, and spooky fun for most people. But for me, it will forever be a day that marks the most painful moment of my life. My ex-girlfriend died on Halloween, and even though we hadn't been together for nearly a year, I'm still struggling to process the weight of it all. I never thought I'd lose her like this, and I definitely never thought I'd be telling this story. Let me take you back to how it all began. We broke up about 10 months ago, a messy split. I don't want to get too deep into the details of why we ended things because, honestly, it's hard to even put it into words. There were the usual relationship problems, communication issues, misunderstandings. Life just kind of got in the way. But the truth is, I never stopped loving her. I had to pretend to move on. I had to act like I was over her, but the reality was much different. Every day was a struggle, fighting the urge to call or text, just to hear her voice one more time. We went full no contact after the breakup. I tried to do what you're supposed to do when a relationship ends, focus on myself, cut ties, and give her space. Everyone said it was for the best. It would help me heal, help me move on, but it didn't. No matter how much I tried to convince myself that we were done, that it was over, she was always there in the back of my mind. Things got harder when I found out she started dating someone new not long after we split. I remember the first time I saw them together, my heart just dropped. It felt like someone had reached inside my chest and ripped a piece of my soul out. She looked happy, or at least she seemed like it, but part of me always wondered if that smile she wore was real or just a mask like the one I was wearing. I heard through mutual friends that the guy she was seeing was into some shady stuff. At first, I didn't want to believe it, but the rumors about drugs started to surface, and eventually, I had to face the ugly truth. It wasn't just a casual thing, she was using, too. She had fallen into this spiral that I couldn't save her from, and it ate me up inside knowing that she was going down this dangerous path. Then, 2 weeks ago, before Halloween, I got a call from her. I wasn't expecting it. In fact, I had been trying so hard to keep my distance, telling myself that she had moved on and that I needed to as well. But hearing her voice after all that time, it broke me. It wasn't a long conversation, but it was one I will never forget. She sounded different, not just the drugs, but there was something more vulnerable in her voice. She told me she still had love for me, that there was only love between us. It was the kind of confession you never expect to hear from an ex, especially after so much time apart. I didn't know what to say. I told her I was happy she called, but I didn't say what I really wanted to say. I didn't tell her I still loved her. I didn't tell her that I was still in love with her, even after everything. I thought maybe it wasn't the right time, or maybe she already knew. Deep down, I convinced myself that she must have known. That was the last time I heard from her. 2 weeks later, on Halloween, I got the call that no one ever wants to receive. She and her new boyfriend had overdosed. He survived, but she didn't. I can't even describe the feeling when I heard the news. My whole body went numb. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't think, and I definitely couldn't accept it. It felt unreal. Like a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. How could this happen? How could she be gone, just like that? It's so hard to make sense of something so senseless. I've spent every day since then replaying that last phone call in my head, wishing I had said the words I was too scared to say. Maybe it wouldn't have made a difference, but part of me wonders if things could have been different if I had been honest. Would she have made different choices if she knew how much I still cared? Would she have fought harder to escape the darkness that was consuming her? I'll never know, and that's the hardest part. There's this hole in my heart now, a place that will always belong to her. No matter how much time passes, I know I'll carry this with me for the rest of my life. I'll carry the weight of her loss, the weight of my love for her, and the regret that I never truly told her how I felt when I had the chance. I think about her every day. I wonder if she found peace. I hope she did. Wherever she is now, I hope she knows that I still love her. I hope she knows that a part of me died with her that day, and I'll be looking for her when my time comes. I'm not sure what I believe about the afterlife, but I do know one thing. I'll never stop loving her. Whether it's in this world or the next, I hope we find each other again. Until then, I have to live with the pain, the memories, and the love that will never fade.